A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So today is the 9th February 2023. Just a small announcement for those who might not have read the WhatsApp. From now onward until end of March, our Thursday class, we will switch it over to our Zoom session at my house. Because Bertune just had his operation and he need, I think, total of about 2 months, 1 or 2 months at least, to fully recover. So Pamasuri had contacted Brother Suyan, and Suyan contacted me, and I called her also today. So it was confirmed that we have this alternative arrangement during this period. So remember now, every Thursday we will have Zoom from my house. For those who want to attend as physical class, you can, but text me or my wife or Sui and let us know, so that we will open the gate for you. Okay, so for tonight, yes, we will be continuing our sharing from the unique Dhamma code by me. We are at code number 31. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนะมามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิอาดินาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาระเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรายามัจจปมาดทานะ Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect Triple Gem. Buddhang Pujemi. Dhammang Pujemi. Sanghang Pujemi. The Zoom will be held from my place from today onward until the end of March. Then after that, we will revert back to Sister Pamasuri and Brother Tio's place. So for those who may still not have the news, I think Brother Tio had a knee surgery for muscle tear on the 3rd of February, and the surgery went on well, and he is recovering well too. So at the moment it seems he can walk around already. So that is good news, but he still need to undergo some physiotherapy to make sure everything is okay. So thank you for all the Kayamita's good wishes, and also those who earlier know who had sent the metta and also the blessings, and invoke power of merits for Brother Tune's smooth and speedy recovery, successful surgery and all those things. Thank you. So everybody, I think by now should be familiar. Remember the 4 support. First support is most important. The ability to relax, the art of relaxation. You not only relax body, you relax your mind also, so that you are completely at ease, physically, mentally. When you are at ease and relaxed, you got no issue, no problem. That's why your body and mind become very good. So in life, if you know how to relax, even when you are bound by the first noble truth reality of sickness, disease, or even physical problems, you can actually make yourself peaceful still by developing the understanding to be at peace with whatever that arises. So ability to relax is very important, very powerful. Like the Buddha said, when the body is sick, the mind need not be sick. It can maintain awareness and just be with it, then everything will settle down and become still, quiet and peaceful. But when there is a physical problem that you need medical help or attention, you should seek medical help or other attention so that you may recover from it. Because the body is still a body. It's just like our car. We may know something about the car, but we may not have the skill like the mechanic who are experienced and good to fix it, to change whatever that need to be changed, to troubleshoot. So likewise, physical body is the same. We may have some intellectual knowledge through the internet or social media sharing and all those things. So, but when it comes to really treating the physical body of sickness and disease, you need good experienced doctors or physicians who are very well versed in it, who had a lot of good practical experience and a lot of understanding of what this thing is. So likewise, since we are not mechanic, we cannot fix our own car unless it's simple thing like changing certain simple thing. Maybe you can do. Otherwise, we better send it to a good mechanic, reliable mechanic, or somebody who understands. So physical body is the same. But certain type of sickness or disease which are not serious, not involving internal thing, you can recover quite fast. For me, if it's just flu or whatever that disturb my physical because of it like make you sneeze and all those things. Sometimes allergy or tired or whatever. But that type I can handle. But other type that is more difficult one I can't. But ability to relax actually helps. So in many cases, through my ability to relax and aware, I can know what is happening to me. And most of the time, I got it right. Then I need attention, I need treatment, I will go and look for it. And most of the time, good karma, good blessing, you will get the right physician or right people to treat me and advise me and attend to me. So far, so good. At this age, almost 70, coming to 70 next year, I think, we can still have such almost perfect health is already considered a real blessing. So as Kayamitas, we should actually understand all this and develop our own ability to appreciate life, to have gratitude towards our good karma for giving us such good blessings and conditions. So this also relates to our meditation. The four support, the first three, they are very important. So as explained, relax is number one. It can help us even physically and mentally. If you know how to relax, you are most of the time at peace, at ease, and you got no issue. But to be free from mental suffering, you need Dhamma, you need wisdom, you need understanding. So that part is after we develop the mindfulness, the awareness, then we use it to meditate. We use it to observe, to insight, to develop understanding. And all these are very vital for our life, for us to understand ourselves clearly, because it's self-knowledge leading to wisdom. When we understand ourselves, we understand others. When we understand others, we understand the world, because the world is the collective consciousness of all that generates the consciousness and the movement and the evolution. So understanding is most important. So with this, we will actually value this awareness-based meditation more. Then we see the importance of all this for support that can lead us to great progress and transformation. So like I explained, relaxation is number one. So relax body and mind. Relax into whatever mind state that arises. Then after that is maintain awareness. So maintaining awareness is the second support. Then after that, stabilizing the awareness is the third support. So relax, maintaining awareness, stabilizing the awareness until your inner nature, awareness nature, become very stable, very clear. Until completely no more thought, no more movement within. Born of a free mind, not a conditioned state where you focus, concentrate and go into absorption. Not that type. That type is not a free mind. This one is a free mind, completely relaxed, without any thought activity or movement. It's not easy to do, but can be done if you have the understanding. So this first three support is most important. So when you are able to relax, maintain awareness, and stabilize the awareness, then you can actually develop the stability of this inner awareness nature that will lead to the true mind arising, or we call it the meditative mind. So this silent mind, the true mind, the inner awareness nature, is your meditative mind, which is the most beautiful. And with it, you can use it to meditate, to insight into phenomena, to develop understanding, uh, to understand the Dhamma. And when you have these three support developed, you are always in the meditative state with your true mind. That is the first hallmark of winning, union without thought. The awareness nature surface. Then when you can stabilize it, means you are most of the time with it. And with that, you can progress very fast, you can understand things very fast. The last one is, for people who has developed the first three very stable already, they are very conversant with the first three support until their awareness nature is already very stable. Then you can move on to the fourth support, which is trust. Trust your nature to develop the meditation, the internal transformation, where you have to silence your mind completely in that state of stillness, tranquility, awareness, inner awareness. You just stay around the heart area. Then let that nature detect whatever vibration, movement or activity, or even your heartbeat. Whatever it detects, stay with it, be with it, and let it move on its own. Do not direct it. Do not apply the thought to create thinking activity. No need. That's why this awareness-based meditation is very different. You no need to know, no need to do. Well, all this knowing and doing is by the thought. What we want is to decondition the heedless thinking by relaxing, maintaining awareness, and stabilizing it. That's all. So this is what you need to do. Then for those who manage to progress beyond the first three support, when you do the trust, be very patient. Because to detect the gateway is not easy. You have to be completely still, without thought, for a long period of time before that thing can happen. Yeah. So all these are very important understanding. Yeah. Then even when you manage to do it, initially it may not be like very smooth sailing. Maybe you have a glimpse of what that thing is, then something happened, then you get excited, then the whole thing gone. But if you really have a very stable awareness nature, then when it happens, you will know that nature will detect the gateway. Then something very beautiful will happen. You will know, it will happen. Then everything will just move. Then the form and mind that go through that process will understand. But don't worry, that fourth support trust you don't do until much later. For those who do the sainthood way, the first three support is enough, even up to Arahanta level. Then only for those who want to go the Bodhisattva way, the fourth support is a must. You have to go through it, you have to develop it. Okay, you can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the mind state that you need to make use of, to live life, to develop the stability of daily mindfulness in the midst of life, so that you can develop the meditative training throughout the day. And during that time, Dhamma will keep on arising, because when you are mindful and heedful throughout the day, everything is Dhamma. Truth is everywhere in the midst of life and nature. Why can't you see? For those who see, they always see. Every moment, every instant, they are all there. The characteristics of nature, anicca, dukkha, anatta. So all this you will be able to understand once you develop it. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chokawalisu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Iti peso bhagawa arahang samma sambuddho vicacarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anotaro purisa dhammasarati satta deva manosanang buddha To Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanayiko Pajatang Veditabu Vinohiti Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujjopatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyāyapatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sami Patipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakeneyo Anjali Karaniyo Anotarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. So now we will continue from where we stopped. We are at this code 31, unique Dhamma code, space between thought. This unique Dhamma code, they are very useful. Like the word unique means you cannot find this style code any other place, because these are code spoken with understanding, with wisdom, with profound understanding. Then when they are given, their meaning is very deep. And you can understand all this code, you will penetrate the Dhamma, you will awaken. Yeah, these unique Dhamma code are mainly tailored towards the realization of the true mind, the understanding of what the silent mind, the meditative mind, and the true mind is all about. What happened was, over the years of my sharing, one of the Kayamitas have actually compiled all this code and saved them in the computer, luckily. And finally, I think over the years, many people find it very useful, very beneficial. So they suggested to me, why not we compile all this unique Dhamma code so that they can become like a booklet form. So I said it will help a lot of people. Why not? It is very good. The suggestion is very favorable and very good. And because of that, we decided to go ahead. And we able to get quite a number of Kayamita to help out. Then luckily, the Kayamita who saved it in the computer was Sister Amy, and she told me, but till I got them all, then she forwarded it to me. Then I retabulate them in accordance with the topic and importance. Then after that, I edited whatever that need to be edited. Then we have this developed into a book form. So at first, I was reflecting what should be the title of this booklet. Then later on, I was able to come out with it from my nature. There was a lotus flower that we used to have during our early days of the class. That lotus flower was very beautiful. And that lotus symbolizes enlightenment. And it's like the lotus open means the heart open. So I came out with this title, straight from the heart, unique Dhamma code, as spoken by me. So all this just happened, and we have been going through this code, I think, for the past many Thursday class. And if you look at the short video, you will come to know these are very beautiful, profound sharing. Because nowadays the sharing is different from during the early days. Early days I have to bring forth the teaching, then I just share the code because that was based on the understanding that my nature had. So the code just came out, but not many people can really understand or pick up the true meaning, except maybe a handful of Kanyamitas who have some form of understanding at that time. They knew this was gem, beautiful. That's why one of them is Sister Amy, she saved it up. And the rest also they knew, but they didn't save it up. So most of them just note that I share this throughout my retreat, the annual retreat at this Cameron Highland. So off and on, all this code was surfaced. Then ever since we compiled it into a booklet form, I've been trying to go through it so that Kayamita can develop the understanding. So this code actually, we developed it in the year 2019, about 3 over years ago. The acknowledgement was dated 18 November 2019. So this brief description is for the benefit of those who are new, especially Adam. So with this introduction, now I go into it. Unique Dhamma code number 31. You look at the whiteboard, I have written there. Space between thought, that is the title. Then in bracket, wisdom, energy. Okay, go back to the code. For Kayamitas who have been with me, they will know which book. But for Adam, maybe he doesn't know. This is the book. I will just show it generally so that people who listen to this video, they know which book is it. So this is the title. You see this book is rectangular, 4 by 9, I think, or 6 by 9, sorry. So if you need a copy, you can approach me and or Suyan or Pamasuri, you can get them. So unique Dhamma code number 31, space between thought. Space between thought is wisdom energy. This is the first thing that you have to develop the understanding. Why is it wisdom energy? Because this is the true mind. Without the evil root, without delusion, without ignorance, without words, without concept. This is pure mind, pure awareness nature, wisdom energy, very fine vibration. You can only have more moments of silence, stillness, and space between thought when you have realized the wisdom. So this code is very beautiful. And it's not easy to understand unless you have developed the meditation. Basically, for you to have space between thought, you are already quite a good cultivator. Most people can't. If you were to check before you know the Dhamma, before you have the understanding of this awareness-based meditation, and before you can develop it, you will come to understand you hardly have any space between thought, because your thinking mind, your mundane mind, thinks a lot. I have one Thai monk teacher, Ajahn. When he give talk, he always smile. He always say this, is it? Human being very funny, is it? Human being, they think a lot, is it? The problem with human being is they think a lot, is it? So this one, you must pay attention. If you are mindful, you can understand. So for me, when I was young, even when I was in Form 6, lower 6, I was asked by my teacher, general paper teacher, also my English teacher, also my Form 5 form teacher. Her name is Mrs. Teo. She asked us to write an essay on what we foresee we will be from now onward into the future. So it's a very beautiful essay. So most people write them according to what they understand. But for me, I started with this very beautiful saying. I say, living being, human being, including me, is a creature of thought. Very funny, at that time, I already knew that. Then I say, he is also a gregarious being. I think most people may not be familiar with the word gregarious. Gregarious means a being that need companion, that need relationship. So a creature of thought, a gregarious being. Then when I started off very differently. Then I remember during that time, I say, to me, lower 6 was like a stepping stone to tertiary education. And it's only at the tertiary education level that I can develop great learning of what my profession is, what my career is, and from there maybe come out into society and the world to live life, to go through my career phase of life and all things. Then I wrote a very beautiful essay which was very unique. And the comments that came back from the teacher, I was very surprised. She just wrote there, rather deeply thought out, no other comment. Just imagine my Form 6 teacher write this. Then when I saw the comment, I laughed because I knew what I wrote, not many people understand. And it's very, very, to her, it's rather deeply thought out. But for me, it's the understanding that came from my past. My mind development was different, and I can see all this. So space within thought to me when I was young, I already have them. I already knew what this thing is because I can really relax, maintain when I'm silent. Nobody taught me. Even the early days when I was starting to develop the Dhamma understanding or the training. In fact, I started when I was in the uni, first day actually, when I met our late Chief Reverend K. Sri Dhammananda, the first lecture, I remember, at the Science Faculty, University of Malaya. I came back, I never knew what meditation was, but I just sat based on what I heard. He said, look deep inside, so I looked. So I thought the mind was at the forehead, the brain there. So I looked. Then something happened. I went into a form of samadhi, concentration. During that time, I don't know what awareness was, but my mind naturally can focus. So he said, look inside, focus. So I look inside. Then I saw a bright spot, a very bright spot, small star-like spot. Then because I can focus, I can concentrate, I just focus. Then I give it a push. My mind like burst through that space. It's not like violently exploding, no, it just like break through that barrier. Then it's like that mind that was looking at that bright spot starts to travel out like a spacecraft. Of course, there's nothing to do with spacecraft. It just travel out the mind into deep space. So this one is arupa mind state, formless mind state. So arupa is the mind of the, they call it the 4 level of formless rhyme. The first one is this spacious, what they call, is not really awareness, is infinite space, like you move out into space. Space is infinite. That mind keep on traveling, I remember. And it was so beautiful, so calm, so still. But as it traveled, suddenly my thought come in. What is all this? Where is it taking me? So straight away, I release it. Then it come out. After it come out, I was back to the conscious state. Then what happened was I was asking, what is all this? I never experienced before. My mind becomes so calm, so still. Then I like decided maybe enough. Maybe at the most is half an hour of meditation, which I never did before but first time. But to my surprise, because I sat down there for the first time, I looked at my watch about 12 midnight before I start. I had to wait for my roommate to sleep. It was a university hostel, residential college. Then I looked at the watch. It was 4 a.m. now, means I had been sitting there for 4 hours now. Then my mind becomes so concentrated, so full of energy, calmness, stillness. And that goes on for 1 week now. Then I was thinking, wow, maybe this is what meditation is. So I was actually in that state of absorption, continuous mindfulness. Then I can actually go into the arupa state, formless rhyme, the infinite space. So all this happened. Then I was able to be in that state, like no thought at all, no thought at all. Then after the 1 week, of course, I need to, like normal student in the university, civil engineering, I need to study. Then I need to go about my daily life and all things. So I just allow it to be. Then the energy slowly dissipate. But my whatever energy that I have experienced make my mind very different. Then later on, not long, I went to Brickfield because I got the address from the late Chief Reverend. As from there, a lot of things happened. The first day I remember I went there with my motorbike. I heard the Pali chanting, the Puja Pali chanting, Namo Tassa or what to say. Then it like sound very familiar to me. So I went in. They passed me the card where you read from there to follow the chanting and it's very fast. I can follow and like love that type of chanting. Then after that we attended whatever talk and even sharing. And I saw in the notice board there was this loving kindness meditation talk. So I went and attend. I remember that time was Reverend Mahinda teaching. Yeah. That's how it all started. Then my metta became very strong because my mind was really that. Oh, that time my metta was very strong until my mind, there is a solid energy in the center of the heart. Like nothing can ever disturb it, even loud thunder or whatever. And my mind like unshakable. But actually that was still a conditioned mind in deep absorption. When I do anapanasati, naturally it comes. Because they teach me rising, falling, or thing I cannot do. I naturally go into anapanasati and I developed that deep absorption, which I went into apana samadhi. That's why I was able to penetrate the one-pointedness and went into the formless rhyme. Spacious, infinite space, the formless rhyme of infinite space. So that's how it happened. So coming back to this quote number 31, this is what I want you to understand. Space within thought. I had the experience early on, but that was not born of a free mind. That's why later on when I graduated, when I started to come out and live my life as a civil engineer, I started to interact with the world society and started to look forward to the first salary, the first month pay package. Then because of this worldly activity, I realized inside it starts to move again. Because during that time I also meditate less when I graduated from the university because work was priority. Then I realized this nature got ambition, want to do master program, want to become a lawyer, want to study law too, want to enhance the civil engineering basic degree and a lot of other things. Then I realized when it come into contact with many society, inside starts to move and there is this craving inside there. Then I realized something is not right. How come? In the past it's already so still, cannot move. That time you really like enlightened, but the wisdom not there. It's the conditioned state that prevent the mental hindrance from arising. Because of that, my spiritual faculties were there. But that wisdom factor was not developed because I haven't had the condition to inherit it. Until I met up with my teacher. Master Shen Hua was the first one, 1986. Before that, I already met him. Then later on, Jayantra, the main one. Then I start to understand the highest meditation. He just mentioned this. We choose aware every moment, every instant, in the present moment. And that was the highest meditation. So when I reflected, I realized I haven't done that. So that's why I reversed my whole training and I went into daily mindfulness. The reason for me to do that is because I realized when I came out to work, my mind still moved. Then I recollected the Buddha's analogy about the glass of water. When you have this sediment still inside there, if you don't stir it, the water is clear. But the moment you stir it, the sediment float. Then I straight away knew the sediment is like the five mental hindrance. Because when there is nothing to disturb you to stir your mind, your sense experience is like in control, no problem at all. That clarity allows you to see. But the moment you have a situation that things stir, then all this sediment which are still not rooted out, the mental hindrance, they arise. When they arise, if you fail, then it will cause you to develop heedlessness. So this mental hindrance hinders your mind from entering the meditative state. That's why after that, I decided to shift the cultivation and went into daily mindfulness. Then I connected it with the four foundations of mindfulness. Then I start to understand, no wonder the Buddha said, from first foundation, Kayanupassana, you just develop sati to anapanasati. Then you move into the four posture, awareness, mindfulness of four. Then sati sampajanya. Then I realized this is all daily mindfulness. From there only, you can understand and contemplate the four elements, the 32 parts, the 9 stages of cemetery decomposition. Then the whole teaching becomes clear. Then after that only you can go into the second foundation of mindfulness, Vedana, feeling. Mindfulness of Vedana, feeling. Mindfulness of feeling. Then after that, Chittanupassana, then Dhammanupassana. Then from there, I start to understand more and more, more and more. Then initially, the Satipatthana Sutta, the opening statement, I already knew. After overcoming covetousness and grief, that's why I knew without the daily mindfulness to move through the Avijja Sutta, step 4 and 5, which is Avijja. Step 4 is Yoniso Manasikara, the initial wisdom. Without the Yoniso Manasikara, the initial wisdom, you cannot do Sati Sampajana. That's why they are related. That's why this code is related. So now I can go in to share with you why I say space within thought is wisdom energy. Because for this space to arise from a free mind, remember, not a conditioned state of mind that is in samatha, concentration or absorption. When you are able to have space, means there is no thought, then that is your true mind, pure energy. That one is without delusion, without avijja, without the evil roots. That one is wisdom energy. That's why to develop that, you need wisdom. So step one of Avijja Sutta is you must have Dhamma friends, Kayamita. Then only step two can come about. Opportunity to listen to the true Dhamma. Of course, that one also need condition and your karmic past. Then number three, when you constantly listen to the true Dhamma, you will develop the first and second turning wisdom, and you will be able to investigate into the essential Dhamma that the Buddha has taught. Then when they stand up to investigation, step three arises. Confidence in the Buddha and his teaching means you have faith in the Buddha and his teaching. You have faith in the Triple Gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Then after that, step four will also come about, because when you start to listen, you also reflect, contemplate, and develop the first, second turning wisdom, which is the initial wisdom the Buddha called Yoniso Manasikara. Yoniso means wisdom. Manasikara means attention. Means wisdom at the moment of attention. Means when you pay attention. When you see something, you can pay attention there. When you hear something, you can pay attention to your hearing consciousness. When you smell, taste, totally feel or think, you can pay attention there. So attention is manasikara. Yeah? So manasikara is very important. When there is wisdom at the moment of sense experience or hearing, means there is yoniso. So wisdom at the moment of hearing come from your nature, not from your memory. Memory is knowledge. Nature means when you cultivate the first, second, and third turning wisdom, it brings forth the three types of spiritual wisdom, respectively Suttamaya Panya, Chintamaya Panya, followed by Bhavanamaya Panya. So these three types of wisdom will suffice. Yeah. And the first two actually give rise to the initial wisdom, which is mainly step 4, Yoniso Manasikara. So when you have this wisdom will prompt you at the moment of sense experience, like when you see something. Normally without this, you will straight away stir your mind and react your mind. You react to what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactile feel and think. Why? Because you act from memory. Memory is your views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, and all of your fear, phobia, insecurity, your unhappy state of mind. Whatever that you hold on to, cling on to, grasp on to, including the evil roots of greed, selfishness, envy, jealousy, hatred, emotional negativity, and all of your phobia, your fear, your negative mind state, born of self-delusion, sakkaditi. So all this, they will come and stir your mind and cause you to react. That's why there is no space at all. You will continuously develop the habit to react and think like that. And the Buddha called it heedless thinking. Because without heedfulness, you will think a lot. That's why my Thai teacher Ajahn said the same. Human being very funny. You think a lot, like non-stop thinking. Sometimes you think until you cannot sleep, insomnia. The thought is so active, restless inside there. Because you cling onto your problem, you hold on to your problem. So there is hardly any wisdom energy to allow you to have the clarity to be silent, to be still. When you are silent, you conserve your life force. You conserve your physical energy. You don't use so much energy. But when you think a lot, especially when you study, you think a lot, or when you go through fear, worry, and anxiety, it consumes a lot of mental and physical energy. It drains you. That's why it causes you stress. It causes you fear, worry, anxiety, and these are negative energy field and make you like miserable. That's why people fall into depression. They develop mental problems and they develop a lot of mental sicknesses. Yeah. And all this mental negativity, including the negative energy, they will cause your cell to mutate and it will cause cancer and all those traumatic disease. That's why the scientists also knew you subject the water sample to beautiful music or good vibration, the crystal come out very beautiful. But you subject them to all the polluted vibration and curse them, scold them, negative thought, like keep on abusing or speak abusive language to that thing, that crystal become very, very deformed. That crystal that they observe under the microscope of that sample is like mutated, distorted. That's how the cell get mutated, distorted, because no more good vibration. So what happens is our physical body as a human being, almost 80% of it is liquid, or we call water and blood and mucus or whatever liquid. And just imagine you keep on arising the wrong thought, the negative thought, the anger, the hatred, the delusion, the fear, the phobia. What will happen to you? Your crystal, they will mutate and your health will deteriorate. Your immune system will be gone. And this is very easy to understand, very straightforward. That's why without space within thought, you don't have energy. You don't have wisdom energy. You cannot see things as they are. You cannot insight into phenomena. You cannot awaken. You cannot be with your true mind. You are always lost in thought, heedlessly thinking, lost in thought, reacting, stirring your mind, developing all the wrong thought that condition your fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation, and make you miserable, sick, and afflict you, suffering. So this is what Dhamma is. When you understand, then you must develop the step 4 leading to step 5 of the Avijja Sutta. Step 1, 2, and 3, almost most Kayamita or all Kayamita will have them. But step 4 and 5, you have to work on it if you are still keen to progress. So a lot of our Kayamita has developed step 4. But 5, not that many. Not that many. Step 5, Sati Sampajana, mindfulness and clear comprehension, means able to have the stability of daily mindfulness and the stability of the inner awareness in a form of meditation. That one, not many yet. But quite a handful has developed it, which is a good sign. That's why our Kayamitas are different. The Kayamita force are different. So if you are serious, more and more will be able to reach step 4 and step 5. And when you have step 4 and step 5, you are destined for enlightenment. Where after that, step 6 and 7 is a natural consequence. Once you reach step 6 and 7, you are at least a Sotapan or a Sakadagami, second stage of sainthood or first stage of sainthood. Now then you move into the 4th foundation of mindfulness, step 8, very easy. And you will progress very fast and you will break free from the 10 fetters and realize Anagamiship or Arahantship. Then if you have the condition you want to take the Bodhisattva vow, you can continue. So this is the clarity of the process that you're supposed to go through. I hope it is clear to you now. So now I can read the code, then you understand. Space between thought is wisdom energy. Now you know. To have that, you must have step 4 and 5. Without step 4, step 5 cannot come about. So step 4 is the initial wisdom, unisomanasa. With that, at the moment of sense experience, it will prompt you. Then you will not stir your mind, you will not react. Then you have clarity, you are at peace. That's why the mind is quiet, still. It does not think. It does not have fear, worry, and none. It just stay there, away. Why? Because the Dhamma will prompt you. He is the way he is, the world is the world. Or the essential Dhamma will surface. Sankara anicca, Sankara dukkha. Then you will stop already. You will not stir, you will not react already. So everything is just the way it is when you start to develop the understanding. Then you become beautiful. You become very different. So this code comes from that deep understanding. That's why I mention it. Space within thought is wisdom energy. And when you can realize this, this is your true mind. Then I say, you can only have this more and more moments of silence, stillness, and space within thought leading to tranquility when you have realized the wisdom. And now you understand how the code come about. So without yoniso manasikara, you cannot have space within thought. And when you have space within thought, there is deep, strong energy. That's why when you go into this meditative state, you recuperate very fast. You can heal yourself. You can recuperate and develop the energy. That's why you can see when I give Dhamma sharing, my nature come back very strong. And especially at the retreat or even when I deliver all this Dhamma sharing. Initially, sometimes I may like have some running nose or flu or what, then I knew I need to rest. But when I go into the Dhamma, the nature will actually allow me to develop the energy from inside to recover from all this. Then you realize end of the session I'm already okay. Or at the most I only need to go back and rest. Of course, rest to you is sleep, but I sleep with awareness, with mindfulness with it. So this is what we need to develop as understanding. So today I can only cover one code. Code 31, space between thought. Second session is basically meditation reporting followed by whatever question that you may have. You can ask me any question related to the teaching or the meditation. Then the last part, of course, is how to apply this teaching towards life realized situation and how to overcome whatever life problem that you might have via applying the Dhamma understanding. And Kayamita can also share whatever experience they have through applying the Dhamma so that others can also rejoice and benefit from all this sharing.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, great. Yes.
But at the moment, I got nothing to.
You
share.
can report your meditation if you want to, then I can guide you along. How you do it, just describe to me exact words, how you do it based on what you have as understanding now, then I can guide you. But you don't report, I don't know what you actually do.
Okay, I just I just follow your instruction to
Good.
relax and be.
Are you able to do it?
Yeah, I'll be able. I am able to do it, but
Do
it,
you feel relaxed, peaceful?
yeah, I feel relaxed, but sometimes I want to know what is coming next and all that, you know.
So
But then I remember you say if you have this, just aware, finish, aware, finish, you know.
so that
So but
intuition is
sometimes
very
my
important,
yeah, but sometimes I tend to think, you see not. think, but I am aware that I'm thinking, so I just okay, stop at it,
Very good.
and then go back to I've been keeping I'm doing that.
Okay. Can I interrupt first for a while before you continue? This is very good. You see, Grace, what you
Yeah.
need to understand is what you have described is actually very normal. Most people who don't have the understanding of this awareness-based meditation, they will do all those things. Why? Because, like I said, human being is a creature of thought. They think a lot because they don't know that there is another mind, which is the true mind, which has nothing to do with the thought. But because since birth until now they have been so conditioned, they have been using this thought so rampantly, to the extent that they think a lot. That's why for you, despite listening and having the instruction, you are not able to stop that curiosity of the thought that want to know. That's why I say don't try to know. Don't try to do. Where all this knowing through the perception is by the thought. All this doing is by the thought. Luckily, I told you aware, finish. You recall that. That's why you didn't allow it to continue. That is the beauty of awareness-based meditation. So that is the beginning of the mind trying to settle down. But you cannot do that for long because the curious mind that wants to know keep on appearing, because you may have some karmic obstruction from the past that prevent you from going in very fast, because all this is what karmic is all about. You need time. But once your faith become more and more, you become different. Well, at least now I can see the difference between the day you join and now. You are so much more different as compared. That time I remember you have a lot of problem. You have a lot of fear, a lot of worry, a lot of problem, sadness and all things. Then you like cannot understand what I say, and it take you quite a while before slowly this thing settle in and settle down for you to develop the slow progress. Uh, Even though it's slow, it's still a progress. So you don't worry. Yeah? That's why I want you to report so that you understand. So this stage which you have described, if you listen attentively to my sharing tonight, you will progress. Whatever the thoughts say, you tell yourself, this half an hour or 45 minutes, I'm going to train my mind, to develop this inner awareness. So you can talk to your thought. Please allow me to have the peace and the space to develop this awareness-based meditation. Whatever thinking or unfinished business that you want me to attend to, I will attend to it after the meditation. You talk to that thing, the thought. Then when it arises, okay, you straight away, because of your awareness, you say enough. Okay, I will deal with it later. I will think later. Now, aware, finish. Aware, finish. Keep on developing that step. Whatever arises, aware, finish. Aware, finish. Don't have to verbalize also. Just inside that state like that. By doing that, the mind will settle down because you are starting to decondition the heedless thinking. Your thinking is a momentum. If you stop it, break it, then this momentum slow down. Yeah. Then finally it will stop. Yeah. When it has the wisdom developed, it is no longer deluded and heedless. Then this momentum of thinking actually completely rooted out. That is like gone. Like suddenly you realize you are so different from last time. Now you don't need to think because you will come to the final understanding. Think also like that. Don't think also like that. What is thinking? Thinking is mental activity. And mental activity lead to what? Suffering, the Buddha said. That's why sabbe sankara anicca is impermanent, it come and go. Then if you attach and cling, it lead to suffering. But please don't get me wrong. When you live life, you need to think. You need to plan. You need to do a lot of things. You need to multitask and all things. So the thought depend on the user, like what I say. So don't worry. You can think. Think with clarity. Think without delusion. That's all. That's why it's called right thought. Right thought, not wrong thought. Think the wholesome thought, the right thought. So these are the understanding. Not to say thinking is bad. No, like thought, like money, is neither good or evil. It depends on the user. So thought is neither good or evil, neither wholesome or unwholesome, neither right or wrong. It depends on the user. But you input the content of consciousness that has the evil roots, means based on memory, views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, then it becomes wrong thought. Yeah. So initially the training is aware, finish, aware, finish. Then some skillful means to help you develop the calm state, peaceful state, is to radiate metta. When you radiate metta, it's always wholesome thought, peaceful thought, loving thought, no negativity, no evil root. That one can settle down better. Yeah. So loving kindness, we are radiating a radiant smile, and then recite, may I, this body and mind of mine, be well and happy. Feel the well-being and happiness and the peace. And then let the mind settle down. Then after that, aware, finish. Aware, finish. If you do that, you will progress and you will become beautiful. Okay, Grace? Can follow?
Okay, can follow.
Sadhu. Anything else you want to ask?
No, I've been practicing and I see myself when I come out of meditation in my daily life, I'm more calm,
Very
I'm
good.
more calmer. So when people say anything, I just keep quiet.
You are not so
I
reactive like
don't,
last time already. It does not affect you so
yeah,
much. You can take it already. That is good
yeah.
sign. Good
So
progress.
that's why. And then after that, I reflect on it, you see.
Very good. Despite your inability to stabilize the inner awareness, but at least the Dhamma has actually played its role by letting you understand. This is at the first turning and second turning level. That's why you reflect on it. Then you develop understanding. Then, like I always say, your life, you hold the key to your own life destiny. True or not? To be happy or unhappy entirely depend on you, isn't it? On us, isn't it? Because it's our life. So if I choose to be happy, I will be happy, isn't it? Then why are living beings not happy, miserable? Do you mean they don't know how to choose? They choose to be miserable? No, it's because they don't know this teaching. They cannot understand this Dhamma. That's why they cannot develop the wisdom to free their mind, to liberate. So all these are very important understanding that can lead to good progress. So sadhu to you, Grace.
Yeah.
Hello, Mithopo, Bratio, Mrs.
Yeah,
Teo,
yeah.
and all Kayamitas. Bratio, I want to talk about my cultivation.
Sadhu. Very
Yes,
good.
related to maybe related to today about the thinking,
Very
Okay,
good.
okay. So
Sadhu.
so sometime early in January, right?
Uh,
I I I was I had something to think about lah.
mm,
Okay, so I didn't
yeah,
want to think about it.
mm,
I said I will do all my chores, when I have time, feel relaxed, then I will think about it lah.
yes.
Okay, so I said, so I do everything, and then towards the end of the day, I went to my room and I feel rested. I mean, I feel like rested in the sense
rest.
of, I mean, what I mean, I finish out my work, I feel very happy, joyful. So I feel very relaxed in that sense. Okay. So it's time to think, time to think about the difficult topic, the difficult subject,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That has been like kind of like requires my attention, Brother Teo. Let's put it this way.
Yes,
So I said, okay, I'm now kind of relaxed. I finished my work. I'm happy, for the day, day, whatever I need to do, I already done. So I went to my room and kind of like rested a while. And then after that, I want to think. I want to think, So I want to think, right? Then suddenly, Brother Teo, something strange happened to me.
What happened?
I want to think, but cannot think, Brother Teo.
That thought cannot come out.
Yeah, cannot come out.
Very good. Sadhu. Very good.
Cannot come out, It's like, what happened, Brother Teo? You see, usually when you want to think, right, then you can recall, like through a memory.
Correct. Recollect and all those things.
Cannot totally,
Sadhu.
Then after that, I said, what happened? Then what happened appear, Brother Teo? It showed to me, dukkha, dukkha instead come out, Wow, the dukkha on my head,
It will show it to you. It will let you understand. Sadhu. Very good.
I said, what is this,
Sadhu.
Then what happened, Brother Teo? I release it, I release it. Don't take, release it. Then, the dukkha disappear.
Yeah, straight away it will disappear.
Yeah, it disappear. And then I said, oh my God, this is the first time I experienced such a thing.
It will show it to you.
Yeah.
It is very beautiful. Sadhu.
Yeah.
That's why non-cultivator of the way will not understand all this because it will happen to them. So what happened is there are 2 or 3 way of possibility of this type of thing happening. So maybe I make use of this opportunity to share it. So like what you have gone through is very beautiful. Only cultivator of the way will go through. You see, when we develop this awareness-based meditation until it's very, very stable, then you realize you will reach a stage of your cultivation where you hardly think. Then later, like you've gone through this round, because it's a condition that is meant for you to understand deeper and go beyond. So what happened is that understanding the stability of the awareness nature can give rise to such condition. Then like it's something that need your attention because although it's in a way worldly means within the conditioned world, but there is such thing as life existence. That's why I need your attention. So normally you can reflect on it, contemplate on it, and the answer will come out. But when you reach certain stage of cultivation, like when you are experiencing what you experience today, I remember at that time, I also went through the same thing. Where I told you, I came out into the private sector to test myself, and I want to find out whether when I join the private sector, which is very busy and a totally different environment of work condition and all those things, how will my mind behave? So what happened was, I left a very comfortable statutory government job. I was on super scale, promoted until the pinnacle of my career. I cannot go further because as a technical staff, that is the highest in post in the university that I was working. So I decided to come out to test myself at that time, exactly at the age of 35, after I have realized the Dhamma and I have all this. Then I came out. So what happened was, when I was in the consultant, I need to go through a lot of documents and so on. Well, this project was done before I went there. Then sometimes all these are very big project, 5-star hotel, and major project costing hundreds of millions on. Then they have a lot of things inside there on the file and all those things, and the people, the consultants involved, the client, so the architects, and everybody is like very critical to the project. So I had to read up. But because I was very experienced and I have this mind and this understanding, I was able to develop the understanding very fast. But there was one stage where I have to go for meeting and I have to like commit to memory some of the dates because they are discussing the extension of time, whether to give to the contractor or not. Otherwise, they get penalty, LAD, liquidated and certain damages penalty. So in the discussion, you need to know the date. So I realized I cannot commit to memory. If I commit to memory, suffering is there. Then there are a lot of things I force myself to read because like all those important letters where I have to look for the date, every time I read that time, like you experience, it is suffering now. Yours is thinking. Mine is reading. To read it at that time also suffering. But don't worry, don't go and panic. Say, oh, you do awareness-based meditation, then when you go through the training, then you become like that. No, no, no. You will go back to normal later on. This is just the phase as you go through. Then the mind will tell you, like indirectly, just how you realize the computer, the screen change the color, it actually receives that thing from the thunder, where the sound wave travels slower than the light. So they already know. But we need the senses of hearing to know. So that one didn't appear. So after that one, then only the lightning. So now you understand. So coming back to the description, it will show it to you that if you want to suffer, go and read, go and think. But you have to understand, no, this is life. No. I wanted to test my own form and mind. That's why I come out to a private sector. Then I agree to accept the job offer. Then there is this, what they call duty towards my employer. So I have to do all this. I got no choice. So what happened was when I knew all this, I started to write down. That's why I advise a lot of Kayamita, write down. Don't go and remember. Don't go and put in memory, because it's suffering actually. Because when you try to hold on to things and remember a thing, it's not natural. You become like rigid and dependent on the information. Just let it be. Write it down somewhere. You need to refer, you refer. Because when you refer, it will give rise to condition for you to recollect and recall. That's why sometimes when I share the Dhamma, if something interrupt or when I was doing the sharing, because the very moment I speak, the next moment the thing that I say is gone. It's completely gone, off my memory already. Where I cannot hold on to things, grasp on to things and retain things unless there is condition. That's why I have to ask you all, what did I say just now? How did I come to this point? The moment you tell me, I can recollect and recall, which means I don't have to remember. I don't have to hold on to my memory. I only need causes and conditions for me to recollect and recall. But what my awareness have gone through is good enough. So that's why I don't hold on to things, I don't grasp on to things, I don't cling on to things, and my mind is free, non-grasping. The aggregates are all pure, non-grasping. That's why it can be in that state. So I start to write down. Then I realize I got no more problem. Then I can attend meeting, I can do like a normal person. Then later on, of course, I went through that phase. Then later on, my Monday mind collapsed. Then I transform. Then I become normal again. All those things that jam up there, cannot think no more. Doesn't happen. So what you have gone through is that phase, which you will come to pass later on. So that suffering is the beginning. So it will show you clearly the mundane mind is the mundane mind. The true mind got none of this. That's why it doesn't suffer. But the mundane mind need to do all this, which is the mundane activity, like remembering, thinking, all those things. So all this you need to like go through life to develop the understanding so that you become normal again. That is what the Mahayana call the three types of seeing. Initially is worldly seeing or mundane seeing, conventional seeing. 看山是山 means when you look at a mountain, you call it mountain because this is what mundane people name it, label it, call it. Then as you develop the progress, the understanding, then you have the direct seeing, then you realize you see things as they are. There is no concept or word or idea that is a mountain. That's why 看山不是山, where you see things as they are, no word, no concept, nothing, cannot describe. It's seeing things as it is, that pure consciousness. Like in the seeing, it's only the seeing consciousness, that pure perception of that truth, that nature, seeing things as they are. That stage, that phase is the second level. That one can still argue with people. Where you are still different. Where got mountain? 看山不是山. Because his direct seeing allow him to have the understanding. But then later on, as you go through all these phases, then you go into life, then you become very good at the conditioned mind, the unconditioned mind. I mean, both aspects also you understand. Then when the worldly people come who don't have the direct seeing, they say, this is a mountain. Yeah, mountain, agree. Air, God, and flow. Then the one that has the cultivation, the direct seeing, is like, 看山不是山. That is not a mountain. Yeah, not a mountain. So to you, both also no problem. That's why you can become normal again. You can still look, you can still see, you can still live like a normal human being. And that phase will come back. But to come back to that phase, you need very stable understanding. You need to have a nature that is very, very unique. Means you have developed this understanding over a long period. You have contemplated, you inherit your understanding. Then when you come, you will come to the phase where you understand. The more you share, the more you understand more deeply into that topic. Where you need all these causes and conditions for you to manifest that wisdom to share with the world. That's why sharing is not about my nature alone. When it shared, it created more and more causes and conditions for my nature to actually share deeper, share the more profound one. Because without condition, all this cannot come out, and the sharing is limited. So this is what Dhamma is. So when you have that understanding, you become different, you become very beautiful. So Poh Cheng, this is really amazing and wonderful. Sadhu to you. Very good. You can continue with your sharing here.
So yeah, thank you, Bratio, Sadhu, for your great guidance. Actually, so what happened next is that because of that, right? The first experience, so I said this is very strange, something that I have not experienced before. So Bratio, you know what I did? I want to test it again. So,
very good.
Yeah, I just naturally, I want to test it again since this is so abnormal, right? I'm experiencing. So I said, now I'm no more suffering, no more dukkha. So I try to think again, try to think, what is it, So then I think, wow, straight away the dukkha.
You can experience it. That is at the mind level. And this is the very, very fine suffering that only the cultivator of the way can understand and see. That's why during that time, I remember was explaining to you all the Buddha's 3 types of suffering. The dukkha dukkata, the first one is suffering within suffering. Then the second one is suffering due to change. Then there is one last one is they call it suffering. I forgot. There are 3 type of suffering: dukkha dukkata. Then I cannot recall the other 2 names. But
one
there
of
are
it is
3
a
types of suffering.
Vipari something like that.
Wait, my daughter trying to get
Okay.
it.
Something with the Vipa something one.
Viparinama.
Yes,
Viparinama.
correct. Yes, something like that. Yes.
Suffering due to change.
Yes.
Then there is another type. I think you click on Sankara Dukkata. Suffering due to thinking. Sankara Dukkata. Correct. Viparinama Dukkata. These 3. Yes. So dukkha dukkata is suffering within suffering. This is mental suffering. Suffering due to our attachment and clinging to our physical body. So dukkha dukkata means when the body is sick, your mind also sick. So that is the meaning. Go back to the notes. They share. Sui will share to you. He will pin to you. Then second one is Sankara Dukkata, means suffering due to Sankara activity, your thinking, which you experienced just now. Then the third one is, they call it Viparinama Dukkha or Dukkata, due to change or unsatisfactoriness due to impermanence, because things will evolve and change. Because it changes, it will lead to suffering. So these are the 3 types of suffering they call. But for the cultivator of the way, like what you have gone through, that very fine type of suffering, which we experience, there I described it down there. Very fine, subtle suffering can be detected when the mindfulness and wisdom is very stable. So cultivator who have reached this stage is very near the enlightenment and liberation. So this one is the phase you have experienced, and you have actually now developed clear understanding because it show it to you. So this one is very fine and very subtle. It's like normal people cannot know it. They thought it's normal thinking. But these are very fine. Even the slightest knowing at the moment of sense experience, when the mind try to perceive, that itself is suffering. When the awareness is trying to be aware of the feeling, even that pure feeling is suffering. Very fine, but you experience it. So that time is not described there, because that one is for enlightened being one. That's why it's not described there. It's out of the 3. Then there is another one, the moment of perception. The moment you try to perceive something, suffering, very fine one inside there, you will know. At the moment of activity of mind, when your sankhara starts to move, that movement is full of suffering, because at that time you can have that sensitivity, the subtle mind that is so fine can feel it. That's why that type of dukkha normal being cannot experience. That's why the Buddha didn't describe it. But cultivator of the way will go through and understand. And you will understand, you are experiencing it now, Poh Cheng. Sadhu to you. So all this, even the moment of consciousness, the moment you become conscious, that itself is suffering. So, like last time I explained, you can be at the moment of feeling, at the moment of perception, at the moment of activity, sankhara of mind, at the moment of consciousness. These 4 mind aggregate, they are very, very subtle, but there is suffering within there, very subtle. But your mindfulness, your sensitivity is so stable. You can feel them, you can experience them. That's why all these are possible. only for cultivator of the way. So today's sharing is very good. Sadhu to you, Poh Cheng. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now you can
Sadhu. So I test it, brother. I test
yes.
it, and then it comes back, and then the subtle dukkha appear.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I stop it. Then it just dissipated.
Disappear.
That yes, it
Disappear.
disappeared. And
That's
then
why
I said,
finally you will come to understand this one, which I will add it in.
okay.
You will come to this very clear understanding. Think also like that, don't think also like that. No different. But the world is the world. These are all conditioned Dhamma, dependent originating. So it is because we live in this world, the segmented form and mind has a duty. That's why we want to arise the understanding through contemplation, reflection, and very creative uh, reflection or contemplation. I don't call it thinking, so that we can teach people, share with people, and bring about wholesome causes and conditions for things to be resolved amicably. So all this we will still do, but with understanding behind. That's why cultivator of the way is very different. Then after that, you should listen to this. When you are able to have this thing also like that, don't think also like that, the next time you go into your formal meditation, the whatever activity inside there or the movement, if it's still there, it will appear. Then suddenly this understanding will come back to you. Think also like that, don't think also like that. Then why want to think? Then you will not have the interest to try to know, try to do or whatever. Then the mind become very quiet, very still. Then after a while, it happen again. Then the same understanding will come. Then it become very quiet. Not long after this, you will go into that type of cessation which is going to last very long. It's no longer a glimpse. Yeah. That cessation of form and mind, you will realize that nibbanic state. Although it's not a state, that's mind go into cessation, and that one can last quite a while. But don't worry, your form and mind will know how to come out. But if you are doing it at home or what, maybe you can let your children or your spouse know. Don't worry about you if it take you a while to come out of it. If you are meditating, just let it be. You will finally come out. No problem. Or if you are with Kayamita, then very easy. They want you to come out. I use my bell. Ting, you will come out already. Because that vibration will take you back to your normal awareness. Then you will come out from that cessation. Your mental aggregates are still there. You will not go into parinibbana. Parinibbana is, you will know, the being will know when he wants to go into parinibbana. Means when the body is totally like cannot serve you already, like the Buddha, he knew, like a worn out blockade. Why you want to retain this body? Then they will know when to go through parinibbana. Or sometimes it could be like some urgent matter waiting for your nature to go. Then it is time to go. Then it will appear, it will happen. Then the form and mind will know. Then nature will know. Then it know it has to leave. Like Huining. Remember Huining? He knew, he has taught everything. And the last chapter, he gave instruction, everything. He knew the time has come. Then after that, he parinibbana. So all this are what we call cultivator of the way will go through. But you are non-cultivator, you cannot experience all this, you cannot understand all this. Sometimes you may think these are like fairy tale and all those things. But to cultivate all the way, this is so beautiful and it can be realized, it can be experienced and understood, like what you have gone through. Poh Cheng, sadhu to you. Very good, sadhu.
Thank you, Brother Teo, Kan En, for all the guidance and teaching that I learned so much, Brother Teo. I learned so much. And I really Kan En to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas
all
for
the great
their
beings,
blessings and protection as well, and guidance along the way. Yes, yes. It's Brother Teo, talking about this thing also like that, don't think also like that, it keeps appearing in me, that even after that thing happened, right, this Dharma appear, that don't think also like that, and then amazingly, after that I relaxed, I went to sleep, I had a good sleep, although that is a so-called question or that I need to, that I need to pay attention, and I also don't know what is that in the end, Brother Teo,
no
what
need to
question?
know. It will
Correct.
happen by itself. Then
Correct.
later on, as you go through this phase already, then you will know how to handle it. You become normal again. So that one maybe take a while more. You go through. Then it will come back on. Your thinking faculty, your the pure aggregate, everything will come back on. For me, I remember I had to wait till when my Monday mind collapsed. Then only I become normal again.
I guess for me, so what happened is that I actually seek guidance from the Triple Gem and the Bodhisattvas,
That one very
so that
important.
yes, I seek guidance and blessing from them, and then when, like what you said, I said, when the time comes, I will know what is going on,
you
and
understand
how yes, correct. So that is the thing that I seek blessings and guidance from all Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, so I don't have to I don't have to try to find out and know what is going on.
No need.
When the time when the time comes, I will know naturally by itself,
Just be natural.
Yes, correct.
No need
Just
to
be
be
natural.
rigid. No need to be like want to know.
Yes.
Want to help people also. That one is still the thought, the mundane mind.
Correct.
Everything will
Exactly.
just fall into place. Meant to be will be. Otherwise, nothing will happen.
Correct. Exactly. Thank you, Brother Teo, for the guidance and Kan En to all the Triple Gem Bodhisattvas, in the 10 directions for the guidance and all the great beings. Yes, it's so important to have them to help us, to bless us. Yes. Otherwise,
and at the same time, protect your form and mind. That's why you need their guidance, their blessing, and their protection for the form and mind.
Correct. Yes. Thank you, Brother Teo. So for today, I will share this part that I was thinking so amazing.
Sadhu, very beautiful. Just nice, almost 10:30.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let us rejoice.
Sadhu.
Okay, now maybe we will end by sharing the merits and chanting the closing puja. Akasata ca bhumata deva naga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva cirang rakantu lokasasana etta wata ca amehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo devo wasatu kalena sasa sampati hetu cha Vito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamina mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu. 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 Okay, you all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we shall end the whole Zoom session. Thank you so much for your participation. Sadhu. Today, one very good sharing. Should listen to it. Especially cultivators of the way who have developed the understanding and progress. And even for those who are beginner and with not much progress, you can also listen to the sharing by Grace. That one also very useful. Sadhu.